Hostetter Auctioneers is a full-service auction company. We've been doing this since 1955, and there's been a lot of changes in the industry, and fortunately we've been able to adapt, and we're doing quite well.
Hostetter Auctioneers was started in 1955 by my grandparents, Sherman Doris Hostetter. So how they started is they were barbers and a beautician. They had a little shop. My grandfather, he always enjoyed going to auctions when he was a kid. One day a farmer comes in and my grandfather's cutting his hair and he says, "Hey Sherm, I'm thinking about selling the farm. I'm getting too old, I want to sell it." He said, "Oh, okay." He just finished cutting hair, and a few days later, another guy comes in and he's cutting his hair, and he says, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying a farm." He said, "Well, hey, the guy up the street here is wanting to sell his, so why don't you guys, get together? He may sell it to you." The deal went through, and the original farmer came in and gave my grandfather a check for $500. In the mid-50s, that was a decent amount of money. So he turned to my grandmother and said, "Doris, we're going to take this $500 and we're going to start our auction company." So they had two boys. One of them was my dad and my uncle, and they brought them up in the auction business.
My passion in high school was golf, and I was fortunate enough to go to Penn State on a golf scholarship from 1973 to 77. And then in 78, I started playing professionally.
Everybody knows Sherm as an ex-professional golfer. Whenever they find out Sherm's my dad, they'll say, "Oh, you golf like your dad?" And usually, no, I'm not as good as he is.
My thing was not auctions. My thing at that time was to be a golf professional, and did well, made money, but unfortunately, traveling costs and everything, it was getting tougher and tougher. And I remember my dad saying to me, "Son, it's about time to come back and get a real job." So I go back and I start into the family business. It was the best thing that I could have done. I'm glad he said that, and I'm glad I went home, because I just fell in love at that point with the auction business.
I know that he has an absolute love for the auction industry. He's been a past president of the Pennsylvania Auctioneers Association. He is a PAA and NAA Hall of Fame member. For Sherman to be elected president to the National Auctioneers Association, makes me proud and humbled and happy that he's able to do that.
So my lifestyle completely changed. I went from golfing and by myself and things and traveling to now I'm at home. I have a son and 3 daughters, which have been a blessing, and now they're in the business as well, which is great.
Growing up in the auction world was exciting. I can remember getting up early, going to set up those auctions.
Seeing every dynamic of the company, it's very exciting. There's never the same day, everything's new.
What is it like to work alongside your siblings?
Utter nightmare. Next. No, I'm kidding. No, it's great. Everybody wants the best for the company, for the brand. We are a small family business, and even though we all might not be related, we are all family. We're all here to provide a high level of service for our buyers and for our sellers.
Hostetter Auctioneers is a general purpose auction company that basically helps people through transitions of their life. What we try to do is simplify the process of you getting to the next phase of your life. My dad passed on to me, leave the place better than you found it.
My dad always said, "You always leave the place better than we found it."
My father always taught me that you leave a place better than you found it.
Growing up, my dad would always tell us we need to leave a place better than we found it. When a client or customer comes in and they're dealing with a transition in life, we're able to leave them a little bit better off than when they came in. And that's what we strive to do every time.